what's up? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Ndifon Ntui. On this channel I post sewing tutorials. I drop videos on Mondays, Wednesdays and on Saturdays. So if you're interested in stuff like this, please make sure to check back on those days in order to watch new content. If you're a beginner or if you're a person who wants to brush up on your skill, I offer online courses. I'll be showing a demo on how to make a jumpsuit for you to watch and decide if it will be convenient for you to learn online. If you're interested, please send a Telegram message to the number that you can see on the screen. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for your support. I will see you in the next video. Do have a lovely day. Bye bye. Yo, what's up? Welcome to this video. In this video I will show you how to cut and sew the sleeve that you've seen on the thumbnail. Alright, if you like the video, at the end of the video, please make sure to give it a like. It really helps me out. Alright, so to start, the first thing you will need to know how to do is how to draft one of these, a sleeve. So I've made a video on how to draft a sleeve that looks exactly like this for whatever measurement you are working with. So if you don't know how to do this, you need to see that video first, okay? After you've drafted the sleeve, you're going to bring another large piece of paper. You're going to use this paper here as a this sleeve here as a template to cut a bigger sleeve. As you've seen on the thumbnail, the sleeve is very large, so we're going to need a bigger piece of paper to draft this. Now I know a couple of ways to do this, so I'm going to show you how to create this sleeve using this method, and on Saturday I will drop another method on how to achieve the same sleeve, but that one would have a little bit of would be a bit technical compared to this, but just in case, it's always good to have more than one weapon in your arsenal. So what I'm going to do is, first of all, you're going to come for for mine, I'm going to use an excess of 10 inches. Now mind you, this sleeve here contains the bicep measurement. It also contains the allowance that I intend to hold here, okay? So this measurement here, this sleeve here contains all of that, so there's already some allowance here. I'm going to add an allowance of 10 inches above my sleeve. So you see this, I'm going to keep 10 inches over here, okay? Excuse me. I'm going to keep 10 inches over here, and then I'm going to move this guy up, okay? Put the paper weight, let me move it back a bit. Put the paper weight on top, and then draw a line from here all the way up. Alright, so after you have rolled your line all the way up, next thing you're going to do, simply trace, and then you trace the back of the sleeve. If you watch that video, you will see that there's the front of the sleeve and the back. So the line on the outside is the back of the sleeve. You simply trace that, and then next thing you do is to cut out the blue line wherever you have the blue edge. Now, when you are done with that, you're going to open up one end of your sleeve, and then you're going to turn this part here. You see this is the front of the sleeve, okay? That's where you have that deep curve, okay? So where you have the deep curve, the front of the sleeve, you're going to curve this part out now. Okay, so you see that now I have trimmed that side and I've turned that into the front of the sleeve. So now what you want to do, you're going to bring this back, okay? And you see this point here, the point where you go in by half an inch of your sleeve, this point here. So you lay it on your paper, you come, this is the point here where I went in by half an inch. You're going to make a notch at this point on both the front and the back of the sleeve, because we're going to need to gather, for it to have that puffiness, we're going to need to gather all of this in, but our gather will start from here and will stop here, okay? So it's not exceed where you have this notch, because you need the bottom part of your sleeve to stay smooth. The gather or the pleats that we're going to do it's not going to enter into the bottom of the sleeve. Now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to place this on my paper. I'm going to call this my paper. Alright, so now I've placed the lining on it, okay, because I want to cut the lining. Now at this point you have the choice of making your lining shorter so that it turns your fabric in like this when you are done, if you want that. But I'm going to cut the fabric and the lining on the same length, okay? So let me go ahead and do that. So if you saw when I was cutting the transferring it from paper to fabric, sorry, I notched here and here when I was done. So please make sure to do the same thing on the lining as well. Okay, so now the next part is I'm going to iron gum stay onto my fabric. So this is gum stay. In other markets in the world, it should be known as interfacing. So this is like medium weight interfacing. It is basically paper with an adhesive, heat activated adhesive ironed on one side. So I'm going to go ahead and iron this, and after this I'll meet you on the sewing machine so that we can start stitching everything. Okay. Alright, so here I have my lining. Whatever I do to the lining, make sure to repeat on the fabric. Okay, so you can see where I notched here, and I also notched at the end as well. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to stitch from here all the way down. I want you to use the loosest stitch on your machine. So that's the longest stitch on your machine, and don't lock it when you start, don't lock it when you're at the end. So just watch and see what I'm going to do. Okay, so after you do that, the next thing I want you to do is I want you to pick up one side of your thread, and then you're going to simply gather the excess that I'm doing now. Now please make sure that you measure the armhole so that you know exactly the exact width of your the exact measurements around your armhole. You need to know that. Okay, so make sure to measure your armhole before you start doing this so that you know just how much you would gather. I hope that you understand what I'm trying to say. So I'm going to gather from here, and then I'll do the same thing on the fabric as well. So now after you have done this, repeat this step. You lock it up by simply tying it at that point. By the time you are satisfied with the amount of gathers you have, simply secure it down at that point so that it doesn't loosen. Alright, so by the time you are done with that, you can see this is already looking puffy, like the one that we have in the like the one that we have on the thumbnail. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to join this to my lining. So you're going to take the clean side of your lining, okay, and align it with the clean side of your fabric. Alright, place it front facing front, and I'm going to stitch from here all the way down, consuming only half an inch while I'm doing this. Then, next thing I'm going to do is, now when you're done with stitching it like so, next thing we're going to do, we're going to keep the fabric, facing fabric on the clean side, and the lining, facing lining, and we're going to stitch across. So whatever sewing allowance you kept on your sleeve or that you intend to hold at this point, you consume whatever sewing allowance you have. Alright, then the next thing you're going to do is you're going to spread an iron here flat, okay? Spread an iron here flat, and then I'll be back for the next step, alright? Okay, and after you've ironed here flat, you simply turn everything inside out. Turn everything inside out. Iron the edge here very, very well so that it is smooth, and you're pretty much done at this point. You can see the way the sleeve is. Let me turn it to the correct side. You can see the way the sleeve is standing. The gum stay is what does most of the work for you. So let me go ahead and iron this, and at this point you would fix this to whatever shoulder that you have. If you don't know how to attach a sleeve neatly to an armhole, I think there's a very easy example in my video on how to sew an Ankara crop top easily. So if you watch that video, that should give you an idea on what to do with this. So I've been able to arrange it a bit, and yeah, this is what you should end up with. The gathers at the top, the boxiness because of the gum stay inside. Okay, simply just attach these two. Yeah, my bicep is too big for this. Anyway, that's how I did it. I'll see you in the next video.